So we're here with Hans, NAMM 2022. How are
Hi.
you, Hans?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Yeah, Oeksound. Amazing plugins. What have you got to show us today?
Today we have Soothe Live here, and Soothe Live is our live take on our very beloved plugin Soothe 2. We also have a plugin called Spiff, and we've been asked a lot to make a live version of Soothe because Soothe was running at a 248 sample latency, and so we spent a lot of time, like almost 2 years, to get the latency down. Now it's running at under 1 milliseconds of latency at 96 kilohertz sample rate. So yeah, that's where we're at, and we spent a lot of time just reinventing the algorithm again to fit the live the live workflow, the stage, and so it's a lot more hands-on. It's a lot more. It's faster used. We've kind of minimized the parameters, and so put together some of the parameters you would find in Soothe 2, and we have all the other kind of normal parameters here as well. We got width, frequency, sensitivity, but yeah, so it's also touchscreen compatible, and this is going to come out for the AVID S6L, so the Venue S6L platform, and also the AVID HDX cards. So it's going to be Windows first because the Venue is running that, and then later we're also going to have a Mac version coming out for the AVID HDX cards.
Excellent. I mean, that's a great reduction in latency that you've done there.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it, the developers, but they are geniuses, and we got there. It took some time, but we got there, and we have our beta testers are loving it. They are using it already in shows, big shows, very big like festival shows, and yeah, we're getting raving reviews, and I think this is definitely going to change the live sound industry, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, I know from myself personally, when this plugin came out, when Soothe originally came out, it was just such a genius idea, you know, it's such an innovative thing that is so helpful to anyone mixing.
Yeah, we've had a good run. We've been so lucky that it got received so well back in 2020 in January, and yeah, so we really needed to focus on where are we needed the most next. And when we thought about that, our background, our developers' background is in, or our whole team's background is in music production, recording, but the developers are both live engineers, or they've spent a lot of time engineering. So actually, our founder and lead developer Olle is now back in Finland, live mixing on an S6 console using this. So he's at it, like he's doing it.
It's like a real use case.
He is a user. Like we're all users first. Yeah, before we're plugin developers.
Yeah, and so maybe could you just briefly outline for those that don't know what Soothe does, like what's happening, and maybe for the people that do, it might be interesting to know what is the processing that happens behind the scenes. What is the stage?
Yes. So Soothe is a dynamic resonance suppressor. It analyzes the incoming signal and targets harsh resonances or energy buildups over the frequency spectrum. So as you can see here, it's finding resonances in different places and then applying these notches that you would normally see in a dynamic EQ, but it's applying them automatically over the spectrum where it finds them. And then the user interface lets you then manage that and control that. Where do you want the processing to happen and how much? With very simple controls. And it has a very intuitive user interface that shows you what it's doing. And this EQ curve functions more like a sidechain EQ, where if I wanted to do more, I push it up. If I wanted to do less, I turn it down. So that's the simplicity of it. And the processing, so it's kind of like a two-part process. The analysis happens first, and that's like FFT based, fast Fourier transform, and that's when it finds these notches, and then it applies the processing after that in a separate process. So yeah, that's like a bit of an insight in how it functions.
Excellent. And do you have any other you have Spiff is your other plugin?
Yes, so Spiff is our take on transient control. It's over there at the studio booth we have here next to us. Yeah, and that's been also, people have been finding it now that they found Soothe. They usually go and see that we have another plugin, and then they start using it, and then they start loving it. And we've been very, very lucky with that as well, because the learning curve is a bit steeper, but as soon as you kind of learn how to control transients, like you control resonances in Soothe, then yeah, you get a lot out of it, a lot of value out of it.
Great. And does Soothe come with like presets, like setup things, like standardized things that you might want to clean up, or?
Yeah, we are looking into presets for the live. It does not currently, it does not have it, but we're looking to implement it, because that's going to be something that is getting then applied to the AVID's platform. Both our studio plugins have presets, a lot of presets from Grammy winners like Mitch McCarthy, Josh Goodwin, and Nolly, and like different genres all over the place. So yeah, we've been very, very lucky to be able to work with the top names in the industry that use our products and have been using them forever. So yeah, they probably know better than us how to use them right now, because they're using them every day.
I've also just thought maybe good for creative things as well, not just for like utility of cleaning up a mix, but also maybe you could do some really creative things with dropping frequencies out that would normally be there. And
yes,
like that.
Yes, especially with Soothe, we do have the sidechain function also in the live sound. If I can mention that really quickly, because if we go creative, we also go live. Then you can, for example, have a measurement microphone next to your front of house desk, feeding the room nodes to your mix, and having Soothe on the master react to what's happening in the room, which actually makes your PA just flatten out of what's happening in the room. And then you can also obviously target bleed between the snare microphone, the hi-hat microphone, and the sidechain, one of them out from the other. So yeah, there are some really, really crazy ways to use Soothe as soon as you go into the sidechain function. And we see now, this year, we've heard so many new ideas that we've never thought about of using the sidechain function. Because when we put it there, we just knew that it would be cool to have. But now that we see how creators are using it, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, that would sort of in some ways save you treating it. It's like treating the room, isn't it? So if you've got a muddy frequency or muddy something in a room, a particular thing that resonates.
And you're treating it dynamically. So you're treating it like depending on what is being played. So when you have only one person playing, it's going to react differently because it's dynamic than when the whole band is playing. It's different when you have your audience in place than when the hall is empty. So it's going to react according to that. So yeah.
Great, yeah, amazing. And how much does this Soothe Live cost?
We haven't put the pricing in place yet. That's still up to decision, and we're dropping this hopefully this year, hopefully in the fall. So that's when we're looking to actually kind of release it. So that's when we'll know.
Well, Hans, thank you so much for showing us.
Thank you so much.